Welcome back, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the Liberty Wheat Penny, one of America's most beloved and collectible coins. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary old cent, but some wheat pennies have sold for hundreds, thousands, and even millions of dollars because of their rarity, historical importance, and minting mistakes. Minted from 1909 to 1958, these iconic coins feature Abraham Lincoln on the front and two elegant wheat stalks on the reverse, creating a design that has captivated collectors for generations. Sports and hobbies. In this video, we'll uncover the history behind the Liberty Wheat Penny, explore the rare dates and valuable errors that collectors desperately search for, and reveal what makes certain examples worth far more than their 1-cent face value. From the legendary 1909 SVDB to the famous 1943 Bronze Era cent, every wheat penny has a story waiting to be discovered. Lincoln Wheat Penny. So before you spend that old penny sitting in a jar, drawer, or coin collection, take a closer look. You might be holding a hidden piece of American history, or even a small fortune. Stay with us as we count down some of the most valuable Liberty Wheat pennies ever produced and show you exactly what to look for. Coins, the Fun Times Guide. 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny 1-cent coin emerged during a fascinating moment in American history, carrying the weight of a nation preparing for an uncertain decade while quietly passing from hand to hand in everyday commerce. Struck with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks framing the reverse, this small copper coin represented far more than a single cent. Millions were produced, yet hidden among those countless pieces were examples that would later capture the imagination of collectors. The rich reddish glow of an original uncirculated specimen can still stop a collector in their tracks, especially when the coin retains the fiery brilliance it displayed the day it left the mint. At first glance it may seem ordinary, but beneath that humble appearance lies a story filled with rarity, history, and the possibility of remarkable value. The 1940 wheat penny was produced primarily at Philadelphia, with additional issues struck at Denver and San Francisco, creating subtle differences that collectors study with incredible attention to detail. During this era, mint workers relied on equipment that lacked the precision of modern technology, allowing small imperfections and unusual characteristics to slip through production. Some pieces display exceptionally sharp strikes, while others reveal weakness in Lincoln's hair, the wheat kernels, or the lettering around the rim. These distinctions may appear minor to casual observers, but among dedicated numismatists, they can transform an ordinary-looking coin into an object of intense interest. The challenge of finding one of these special examples has fueled decades of searching through old collections, estate holdings, and forgotten jars of coins. As the years passed, countless 1940 wheat pennies were lost, damaged, cleaned, or worn down through heavy circulation, making truly attractive survivors increasingly difficult to locate. Collectors often focus on original surfaces, searching for coins that escape decades of scratches and environmental exposure. A fully original specimen with strong detail and appealing color can generate excitement because it represents a direct connection to the past. Every mark, every trace of luster, and every tiny design element becomes part of a larger narrative. It is this combination of historical significance and survival against the odds that creates the emotional pull behind the 1940 wheat penny, transforming a simple cent into a miniature time capsule from another era. The intrigue deepens when error coins enter the picture. Certain examples have been reported with doubled lettering, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual planchet issues that create distinctive appearances. These anomalies occurred when dies shifted, metal blanks were imperfect, or production equipment behaved unexpectedly. While most 1940 pennies were struck normally, a small number emerged with characteristics that separated them from the crowd. For collectors, Discovering one of these unusual pieces can feel like uncovering a hidden treasure buried in plain sight. The excitement comes not only from the rarity itself, but from the realization that such an extraordinary coin may have circulated unnoticed for years before someone finally recognized its significance. That sense of possibility is what drives many people to examine old wheat pennies more carefully. Imagine opening a forgotten coin album and spotting a 1940 cent with exceptional detail, brilliant original color, or an unusual minting characteristic. In illustrative market scenarios, some minor variations and attractive collector examples have been associated with values ranging from approximately $2,500 to $3,500, while stronger collector pieces or unusual mint anomalies could reach around $6,000 or even $7,500. These figures are examples only and never guarantees, but they demonstrate why so many enthusiasts remain captivated by this series. The difference between an ordinary coin and a highly sought-after one can sometimes be found in details invisible to the untrained eye. The story becomes even more dramatic when high-grade preservation enters the equation. A 1940 wheat penny that somehow avoided circulation damage and retained much of its original mint appearance can attract substantial attention. Illustrative examples sometimes place especially well-preserved coins around $5,000, while exceptionally preserved or uncommon specimens may approach $8,000. Unusual finds with strong collector demand have occasionally been discussed in the $8,500 range, and extraordinary examples possessing remarkable preservation, rare characteristics, or significant historical appeal have been associated with values up to $9,000. Again, these amounts are illustrative and depend heavily on condition, authenticity, rarity, and market demand. But the possibility is enough to keep collectors searching through old coin collections year after year. Before assuming any wheat penny is valuable, careful examination is essential. Compare the coin's weight to known standards. Observe the metal color for signs of alteration. Inspect strike alignment to see whether the design is properly centered, and study the rim shape for irregularities. Look closely at the lettering and date under magnification to identify possible doubling or dilated features. Genuine rarity often reveals itself through subtle details rather than dramatic appearances. Because cleaning, damage, or counterfeit alterations can dramatically affect value, professional authentication and grading remain among the most important steps a collector can take. Expert evaluation helps separate genuine discoveries from wishful thinking and provides confidence when significant money may be involved. Yet the most fascinating part of the 1940 wheat penny story is that remarkable discoveries continue to happen when people least expect them. Somewhere, an overlooked coin may still rest in an inherited collection, an old cigar box, a dusty attic, or a forgotten drawer, waiting for someone to recognize its true significance. The possibility of finding a coin worth the equivalent of a down payment on a home, a sudden financial windfall, or a once-in-a-lifetime discovery keeps the hunt alive. And just when you think the secrets of the wheat penny series have been fully revealed, another astonishing coin emerges from the shadows, raising new questions and sparking fresh excitement. In the next story, we'll uncover an even more shocking coin whose hidden mystery has left collectors stunned and searching for answers. 1958 D. Liberty wheat penny 1-cent coin emerged during the final chapter of one of America's most beloved coin designs, carrying with it the closing echoes of an era that had begun nearly 5 decades earlier. Struck at the Denver Mint, this small copper coin represented far more than everyday pocket change. It was produced during a period of economic growth, suburban expansion, and cultural transformation across the United States. Millions of Americans handled these pennies without giving them a second glance, yet hidden among the enormous production numbers were examples that would eventually capture the imagination of collectors. The familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, and the elegant wheat ears framing the reverse created a timeless appearance. But behind that ordinary design lay a fascinating story filled with overlooked details, surprising variations, and the possibility that an apparently common coin could become something much more significant. The visual character of the 1958 D wheat penny continues to attract collectors because it represents the final Denver Mint issue before the wheat reverse disappeared forever. Its warm reddish copper surfaces, sharp lettering, and classic wheat stalks make it instantly recognizable to generations of coin enthusiasts. While most circulated examples display wear from decades of use, certain coins escaped heavy circulation and preserved their original mint luster. These better preserved pieces often reveal striking details in Lincoln's hair, the wheat kernels, and the delicate lines that many people never notice. For collectors, finding a sharply struck 1958 D coin can feel like uncovering a tiny time capsule from a vanished America, preserving a moment frozen just before a major design change transformed the nation's cent forever. As collectors studied these coins more carefully over the years, intriguing stories began to emerge about unusual strikes, subtle varieties, and production anomalies. Some examples exhibit minor doubling in letters or numbers, while others display off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual rim formations that separate them from ordinary circulation pieces. Because the Denver Mint produced such a large quantity of cents that year, quality varied from coin to coin. This inconsistency created opportunities for sharp-eyed collectors to identify examples with stronger strikes, cleaner surfaces, and unusual characteristics. What makes the search exciting is that many of these distinctions remain invisible to casual observers, allowing remarkable discoveries to remain hidden in old collections, forgotten jars, and inherited coin albums for decades. The sense of mystery surrounding the 1958 D wheat penny grows even stronger when considering how many examples still remain undiscovered in personal collections. Unlike legendary rarities that were scarce from the beginning, this coin's appeal comes from the possibility that extraordinary specimens may still be mistaken for ordinary cents. Imagine sorting through a box of inherited coins and noticing an unusually bright copper piece with perfectly defined wheat stalks and razor-sharp lettering. At first glance it may seem insignificant, but closer examination could reveal a condition level or mint characteristic that dramatically changes its collector interest. These moments of discovery are what keep numismatists searching year after year, driven by the hope that the next coin examined could reveal an unexpected story. When values enter the discussion, the excitement reaches another level. Although it is important to remember that every figure is illustrative rather than guaranteed. Certain minor variations, attractive examples, or collector-favored pieces may attract attention in the approximate range of $2,500 to $3,500 under the right circumstances. High-grade coins with exceptional eye appeal have occasionally inspired discussions around $5,000. While unusual mint anomalies can generate interest approaching $6,000 among specialized collectors. Rare collector pieces with desirable characteristics might be associated with illustrative values near $7,500, creating the kind of unexpected financial surprise that many people compare to receiving a sudden windfall. Yet actual market results depend heavily on condition, authenticity, rarity, demand, and timing. The story becomes even more dramatic when exceptionally preserved or uncommon examples enter the spotlight. Coins displaying remarkable original color, strong strike quality, and outstanding preservation have inspired conversations involving illustrative figures around $8,000. Certain unusual finds supported by strong collector demand may approach $8,500 in favorable market environments. At the upper end of this storytelling, latter, extraordinary or historically significant examples have been associated with values reaching approximately $9,000. though such outcomes are far from typical and should never be expected. Discovering a coin that reaches such levels can feel emotionally comparable to finding a down payment on a home hidden in a forgotten drawer, or stumbling across a once-in-a-lifetime treasure where nobody expected it to exist. Before imagining extraordinary value, responsible examination is essential. Collectors should carefully evaluate the coin's weight, since deviations from expected specifications may signal an unusual production circumstance. The metal color can reveal whether original surfaces remain intact or whether environmental factors have altered the appearance over time. Strike alignment deserves close attention because off-center impressions and alignment irregularities often attract specialist interest. The rim shape should be examined for abnormalities, while letter doubling in dates, inscriptions, or design elements may indicate a noteworthy variety. Even experienced collectors can overlook important details, which is why professional authentication and grading remain among the most important steps when evaluating a potentially valuable coin. The 1958 D Liberty Wheat penny ultimately reminds us that extraordinary stories can emerge from the smallest objects. A coin once worth only a single cent may carry decades of history, hidden characteristics, and collector fascination that transform it into something far more meaningful. Yet the greatest mystery remains unsolved, because somewhere an overlooked coin may still be waiting in a pocket, an attic box, a family collection, or a forgotten coin jar, silently holding secrets that nobody has recognized. And if you think the surprises end here, the next coin in our journey contains an even more astonishing twist, one that has left collectors stunned and wondering how such a remarkable treasure could hide in plain sight for so many years. Liberty Wheat penny 1-cent coin from 1957 D emerged from the Denver Mint during a fascinating period in American coinage, a time when post-war prosperity was reshaping the nation and millions of pennies poured into circulation every day. At first glance, this small copper coin appears ordinary, carrying the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks framing the reverse. Yet beneath its modest appearance lies a story that continues to captivate collectors decades later. The tiny D mint mark beneath the date instantly identifies its Denver origin, linking it to an era when mint workers operated massive presses around the clock to meet growing demand. Most people who handled these coins never imagined that some examples would one day become prized collectibles, tucked away in albums, vaults, and estate collections across the country. The visual appeal of a well-preserved 1957 D wheat penny can be surprisingly striking. Fresh examples often display rich red luster that glows beneath light, highlighting every contour of Lincoln's profile and every grain line within the wheat ears. Collectors spend years searching for coins that retain this original brilliance because the majority entered circulation and gradually lost their mint-fresh appearance. Tiny differences in color, strike sharpness, and surface preservation can dramatically influence desirability. Some pieces reveal exceptionally crisp details in Lincoln's hair and coat, while others show subtle softness caused by normal production variations. These distinctions may seem minor to casual observers, but experienced numismatists know they can separate an ordinary coin from a truly remarkable survivor. What adds even more intrigue is the possibility of mint-related anomalies. During the production process, dies endured tremendous pressure and wear, occasionally creating unusual characteristics that collectors eagerly pursue. Certain examples display repunched mint marks, minor die cracks, die chips, off-center strikes, or subtle doubling in lettering and numbers. While dramatic errors are rare, even modest anomalies can transform a common coin into a conversation piece. The excitement comes from knowing that many discoveries are made unexpectedly, sometimes decades after the coin left the mint. A collector examining a forgotten jar of pennies might suddenly notice a feature that thousands of previous owners overlooked, turning an ordinary search into an unforgettable moment. The historical backdrop of the 1957 D penny also contributes to its enduring appeal. America was entering a period of technological growth and cultural transformation, yet this humble coin remained a constant companion in everyday transactions. It passed through grocery stores, diners, movie theaters, and gas stations, quietly witnessing daily life. Every surviving example carries traces of that journey. Some circulated heavily and tell stories through their worn surfaces, while others escaped use almost entirely, preserving a snapshot of the year they were minted. That connection between history and tangible ownership is part of what makes wheat pennies so compelling to collectors of all experience levels. As interest in Lincoln cents expanded, market values began reflecting collector demand, condition rarity, and unusual characteristics. Illustrative examples can help demonstrate the range of possibilities, though no value is ever guaranteed. A coin with minor but desirable variations might attract attention in the $2,500 to $3,500 range under favorable circumstances. High-grade examples with exceptional eye appeal have sometimes inspired discussions around $5,000. Coins displaying unusual mint anomalies may draw interest near $6,000, while rare collector-focused pieces can approach $7,500. Exceptionally preserved or uncommon examples occasionally generate excitement around $8,000, and unusual finds supported by strong collector demand may reach approximately $8,500. Extraordinary examples with remarkable characteristics or historical significance have inspired valuations approaching $9,000, though actual outcomes depend entirely on authentication, market conditions, and buyer interest. Imagine discovering a forgotten 1957 D wheat penny tucked inside an old desk drawer, inherited coin album, or family coin jar. At first it appears insignificant, just another cent among countless others. Then closer inspection reveals unusually sharp details, vibrant color, or a curious minting characteristic. Suddenly the coin transforms from pocket change into something far more meaningful. The possibility of holding a collectible worth thousands of dollars creates an emotional spark that few hobbies can match. For some, a strong sale could resemble a down payment on a home, a sudden financial windfall, or even a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that changes the way they view everyday objects forever. Because so much depends on authenticity and condition, careful examination is essential. Collectors should evaluate weight differences using an accurate scale, compare metal color for signs of originality or alteration, inspect strike alignment for production irregularities, study rim shape for unusual formation, and search closely for letter doubling or dilated features. Magnification often reveals details invisible to the naked eye. However, appearances can be deceiving, and assumptions can be costly. Professional authentication and grading remain among the most reliable ways to determine whether an intriguing coin truly possesses the characteristics that collectors value. Responsible examination protects both buyers and sellers while preserving confidence within the hobby. The most captivating part of the 1957 D wheat penny story is that remarkable discoveries continue to surface when people least expect them. Somewhere, a forgotten collection, dusty attic box, or overlooked coin roll may still contain an extraordinary example waiting to be recognized. That possibility keeps collectors searching year after year, fueled by equal parts curiosity, history, and hope. And if you think the hidden potential of the 1957 D wheat penny is surprising, wait until you see the next coin we're about to uncover. A coin with a history so unexpected, and a rarity so astonishing that it has left even experienced collectors completely speechless.